to Current News. I'm your host, Chris Davis, and today we're going to talk about Jemele Hill. So, this past Monday, ESPN host Jemele Hill tweeted some things about President Donald Trump. And the things she tweeted offended some conservative people, and it has called her to be fired. She hasn't been fired, but there are people who want her to be fired. So you all understand the background information, I'm going to share with you what she tweeted. She tweeted, Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. Trump is the most ignorant, offensive president of my lifetime. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. He is unqualified and unfit to be president. He is not a leader, and if he were not white, he never would have been elected. Jemele Hill tweeting that has caused a lot of backlash, and there are people, mainly conservatives, who want her to be fired. She hasn't been fired, but she was given some warning. ESPN issued this statement. I'm going to read this to you. The comments on Twitter from Jemele Hill regarding the president do not represent the position of ESPN. We have addressed this with Jemele, and she recognizes her actions were inappropriate. Yeah, ESPN has issued that statement, and you can honestly expect ESPN to take that position because they're a sports network, and their mentality is liberals, conservatives, independents, progressives, libertarians. It doesn't matter. We don't care about politics. We want everyone to watch our show, so we don't want to take a side on anything. Because if we do take a side, we're going to offend someone. But in this instance, since Jemele Hill went on and said this, ESPN should let everyone know what is their position. Because what Jemele Hill said on Twitter, whether she should have said it or not, what she wrote on Twitter is the truth. Donald Trump has surrounded himself with white supremacists. He's gotten an endorsement from Ku Klux Klan leader David Duke. He's done a Muslim ban. He's made a very bad stereotype of Latinos, saying that Mexico, they come over here, they bring their rapists, their drugs, their crime, when he's really enticing them. Donald Trump, people like Donald Trump are enticing them to come over here to do their work, like make beds and be janitors, for his hotels and stuff. So largely what Jemele Hill said was the truth. And if it offended Trump's supporters, then I'm sorry, too bad. But what she said was the truth. The White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, had this to say about the situation. Let's watch.
Yes, you mentioned a couple times today, you sort of emphasized diversity in the West Wing, and you talked about the president being very clear after Charlottesville and denouncing all hate. I just wanted to read a comment from an influential African-American sportscaster from ESPN yesterday who said, Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. He's unqualified and fit to be president. Why do you think, do you have a reaction to that? Is the president aware of that comment? And
I'm not sure if he's aware, but I think that's one of the more outrageous comments that anyone could make, and certainly something that I think is a fireable offense by ESPN.
If the president was so clear, as he said, why do you think influential African-American figures are saying things like
I'm not going to speak for that individual, but I know that the president has met, again, with people like Senator Scott, who are highly respected leaders in the African-American community. He's committed to working with them to bring the country together. I think that's where we need to be focused, not on outrageous statements like that one.
Okay, you heard what she had to say. Honestly, she is a better press secretary than Sean Spicer. Sean Spicer would be just steamrolled by the press. She is better at handling the press than Sean Spicer ever was. But the people calling her like to be fired, she told the truth. She spoke the truth. I don't have time to talk about everything like Donald Trump has done, but like he's done a lot, and a few things like few other things I can mention. I can't name them all. There's so many. Charlottesville. He didn't say that the protesters who were protesting the takedown of the Confederate leader were wrong. He didn't call them out as racist. He didn't do that. He waited 2 days later to do it. He didn't do it right then and there. He said there was people wrong on both sides, instead of saying these people who ran over the counter protesters were wrong. He said he didn't say that until 2 days later. He can't criticize any of them because that's his base. Those are the people who voted for him. But ESPN has still gotten a lot of backlash. People are saying ESPN is going down because they're too liberal. And I talk about that in my last video that I did a few weeks ago, how their subscriptions have been going down, but it's not necessarily that they're too liberal. It's just been the change of the internet. More people are watching things online now than watching cable. If you want more of that, then just like watch my previous video on ESPN digital streaming. Now, to kind of prove that ESPN isn't being too liberal, they brought back Hank Williams Jr. And if you don't know who he is, he's that country singer who did that song, Are You Ready for Some Football? He debuted again this past Monday. So I saw the opening with Jason Derulo, and it was amazing. So you should watch it. You should go see it. Hank Williams Jr. Was gone in 2011 after he got on Fox and Friends and said some bad things about President Obama and like Joe Biden. So what happened was ESPN said they weren't going to air his opening for a week. He got mad and said that ESPN violated his First Amendment right, so he was going. And so finally, after 6 years, Hank Williams Jr. comes back, and that has made me like very, very excited because watching that opening has always gotten me psyched up and excited for football. I mean, Faith Evans tried to do it, Carrie Underwood tried to do it. And they're not as good as Hank Williams Jr. Hank Williams Jr. is way, way better than those two when it comes to the Monday Night Football opening. When it comes to like any football opening. So yeah, ESPN has brought back like a conservative host. So they're not like too liberal. I do think they could have taken like more of a stand and side with Jemele Hill, saying, "Yeah, we don't support white supremacy. We cover sports, which has a diverse group of people. A majority of African Americans play football, basketball." And basketball, we have a lot of people coming in from Europe who like to play. Some people like even from Asia. So we cover like a diverse group of people, and we have a diverse group of people who work in our network. So I think in this instance, it was an easy stance for them to take, saying we do not support like white supremacy, and President Trump is not like acting like a true commander in chief. He's not acting like a president should act. That's just more of a stance they could have taken, because it has them issuing that statement has angered a lot of people, and has them like asking, okay, ESPN, what is your stance on this issue? Are you against racism or not? That's all we have for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, I would like for you to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And if you liked this video and found it informative, please hit the like button and subscribe. And all of you, have a great day.